Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. There's an XRP chart analyst who says that he is steering clear of XRP for the time being because if Bitcoin goes just a little bit lower, you could be looking at XRP at a price of 23 cents. So I'll be sharing the specifics on that. I've also got in this video opinions regarding price from a number of other XRP community members and crypto media analysts. So you're going to get a hodgepodge of thoughts and market sentiments from various contributors here in this particular video. Before we get going any further here, if you would please delicately tap that like button, and if you're a fan of Ripple and XRP price higher than 23 cents, hopefully higher, hopefully it doesn't go there. If you're a fan of that concept, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. You will be amongst friends here. This is indeed an XRP-centric channel. Now, I'll start the video with just a very brief, I'm always brief with this stuff, very brief market update here. So the market cap for the asset class, $220 billion, Bitcoin's at $8,141 as I record this, and XRP is at 25.4 cents. And if you look at the 24-hour chart for XRP and Bitcoin, frankly, they're just trading sideways over that time period. Not a lot to note specifically over that time period. But take a look at this article from AMB Crypto. Bitcoin stable, altcoins relying on King Coin's next all-time high. And this is by, I can't wait to butcher this name. I'm not good with foreign names. My sincere apologies. This is written by Birajman Tamuli. That's as close as I can get it. The last 2 years have been crucial to understanding major crypto assets from a fundamental perspective, as well as from the perspective of market activity. Bitcoin, the world's largest virtual asset, has been able to break away from the crypto bubble narrative, and even though speculation still played an important role in the market, other tangible factors are now considered while predicting the price of Bitcoin. A recent Bloomberg report suggested that over time, Bitcoin is decreasing its dependence on various factors and assets, most notably Tether, and inclining towards relative crypto stability. Now, 2018 marked a bearish period for the collective crypto market, and 2019 is widely considered by many to be a break from it. According to the report, Bitcoin is currently on its way to overcoming the midpoint of 2018 slump. However, other major crypto assets have not been reflecting the same characteristic. The report said, quote, "Our graphic depicts the Bloomberg Galaxy Crypto Index, BGCI, mired below the 25% recovery mark of the bear market, emphasizing the key issues with most cryptos: rampant speculation and excessive volatility." Now, despite Bitcoin gaining strong independent credentials, the market capitalization of the largest stablecoin has continued to prosper. Tether's market cap has surged from $1 billion to over $4 billion at press time since the end of 2017. Recently, Tether's valuation was widely criticized due to the Bitfinex episode. However, it is still a favorable asset, especially with respect to its use for crypto asset transactions. Alongside Bitcoin, Tether also registered significant market adoption in 2019. All right, let me just share this quote now. The Bloomberg Galaxy Crypto Index should remain in a subdued performance pattern that corresponds with most markets faced with such rapidly increasing supply here. All right, and so again, the overall sentiment being that where Bitcoin goes, the altcoins will follow, which is interesting because that flies in the face of what I'm about to share with you from a couple others. Let me go ahead. Let me share with you this first here. Crypto analysts going long on Bitcoin, because I do find this fascinating, okay? So here's an analyst. And again, this is an XRP-centric channel, but I do want to talk about Bitcoin price because the price of, let's be real, the price of XRP and every other crypto, to one degree or another, it is indeed provably tethered to the price action of Bitcoin. Crypto analyst Jacob Canfield says he's gearing up to go long on Bitcoin. In a new video to his 54,000 subscribers on YouTube, Canfield says he recently closed his short on Bitcoin. He believes buy-side volume will begin to pick up and when Bitcoin flirts with a critical level of psychological support at around $8,000. So this is interesting because especially in conjunction with the opinions I'm about to share directly after this. So he's saying, okay, closing the shorts, we're around $8,000, and here's a quote now. Right now, I'm a mini bull. I want to say that with a grain of salt. I was publicly bearish around $9,900. I just closed my short around $8,150. I think it's a little late to short right now. I'm long from the $8,000 level. I've got a nice little wick entry, but my stop loss is pretty tight. I don't feel comfortable about holding if we break this level right here, which is around 7,910. If we break that level, it's really thin air below this. So we might get one more to 7,910. So 7,850 is a decent stop loss, basically like a 3% stop loss. Okay, so not saying it's impossible to dip below that, but saying I think it's more likely that it will go up from here, essentially, right? So take a look at this here. Here's a tweet from Chart Analyst, frequently charting XRP. Take a look at this. This is from Patty Stash. And he's been talking about, for those of you that hadn't heard, I've mentioned on a couple of recent videos, he has a theory, and it's really getting down to it. Either he's going to be right or he's going to be wrong on this, so it's kind of interesting to track. With Ethereum specifically could lead the next alt season. This is what he's been talking about. So Ethereum's been losing dominance to Bitcoin for 2 years. He said in a very recent, like a video today, actually, I watched it. It was like a 2-minute video he put on Twitter. And he was talking about how there's this resistance line, and Ethereum for 2 years has never gone over this. It's never been able to breach this downward trend line of resistance. And it's right at this point here where it looks like it's going to break out. And if it does, he thinks, well, here, I'll just share with you his own words, all right, on this topic. And the reason, by the way, the reason this is important as XRP holders is he believes that this will be, again, the spark for the entire, this will be the catalyst to get things moving here. And he also believes, it seems, him along with, I don't have a tweet from at Mr. Level Up on this, but he tweeted yesterday indicating that XRP, he believes, would follow this if this happens, right? You know, it's like he was basically stating that XRP is not the first to move anyway. I hope I'm doing that justice. But here's the tweet. It's literally like torture for me to watch Ethereum sit here and mess with me like this. Literally sitting right on the cusp of making its most monumental move in 2 years' time. If it breaks this line, we rejoice. If it fails again, I just might cry. If I do, I'll record it, LOL. And so here's the chart that he's talking about, and you can see it's coming down to it right here. So this is relatively imminent. We shall see. And then so somebody named Yazzie13 responded to that tweet and said, hey, if it breaks up, does Litecoin go up as well, considering it would probably mean alt season? Patty Stash responded, that's pretty much what I'm thinking. Ethereum sets the stage. Once Ethereum finally reverses after 2 years, everything will change. And it doesn't seem that unreasonable on the surface. Now, I'm not a chart analyst. That's why I like to share others' opinions. But given Ethereum's place in the market, number 2 in market cap, it doesn't seem completely insane, his theory here. Now, maybe if it were like a coin ranked 50th or 60th, it would sound a little bit more nutso, but I don't think if that were the case that he'd be saying something like this. But this is a market leader here, number 2 in market cap. So maybe there's something to it, and that's why I think it's worth tracking. We will just have to see here. Here's another tweet from Patty Stash. Bring on alt season. And that was in response to this. Let me show you this. This is a tweet from Dave the Wave. A capitulation in price fits in well with price predictions. And which was a retweet of something from Cole Garner. It states, hash ribbons is on the brink of inversion. That's news you never want to hear. And they're talking about Bitcoin here. Inversion signals a downturn in hash rate. It's a leading indicator of minor capitulation. Bitcoin is dangling on the edge of a cliff. So here's another individual, a chart analyst, that believes Bitcoin looks like it's probably going to be going down. And so that's why I was interested when I was covering that first article talking about altcoins relying on Bitcoin. They're saying Bitcoin here, like Patty Stash and this individual here, Cole Garner, saying, okay, Bitcoin may be going down, but then you got Patty Stash saying if it does, it's not necessarily the end of the world for alts. And so, of course, you're not going to find perfect agreement when it comes to technical analysts here, and I certainly would not expect that here. But specifically as it pertains to Ethereum, still, Patty Stash still seems to think that even if Bitcoin does indeed go down, and many think it's very likely, actually, so I won't be surprised. I've seen from enough chart analysts that I certainly won't be surprised that it's still Ethereum could do its own thing, which could ultimately lift XRP. Now, let me take you into another opinion here. This is from Crypto Wizard. As covered in the Wizard Live, I'm steering clear of XRP for the time being, as it's in a very tricky region. The Bitcoin push down to the high 7,000s will place XRP around 23 to 23.5 cents, which is a 78.6% retracement. Until then, I'm simply monitoring this pair. Now, understand when he's talking about steering clear of XRP, this is not some sort of down with XRP type thing. He's talking from a trader's perspective, so I do want to be clear about that here. And so, who knows? Look, I won't be surprised if Bitcoin does go down to that degree. I mean, what is the floor for XRP? I don't know. I'm not a chart analyst. I don't pretend to be. I just play one on TV, right? No, that's just another individual's opinion right there. It's just, and like I said, though, the thing that seems to be most agreed upon, if there is anything today, at least from what I've seen, is that Bitcoin's probably going down. That's what I mostly see. And there was that one outlier that I showed you, the outlier opinion, and even then he wasn't even that sure. It's the guy that said, okay, I said that Bitcoin is going down when it was around 9,900, and now that it's around 8,000, I'm saying I'm a mini bull, is the quote that that's to quote him right there. All right, next, this is from You Today. This is interesting. This pertains to price. Crypto Analyst doesn't expect Bitcoin price to repeat past halvenings. All right. The upcoming Bitcoin halvening remains a predominant narrative of the bulls who hope for enormous price gains. Leading cryptocurrency market analyst Willy Woo states that the Bitcoin price might not experience another massive price rally this time around. All right, and so here's the quote from Willy Woo. Never gone into a halvening in bearish price action. Miners already capitulating, adding sell volume. Historically, we front run with a bullish setup. Miner capitulating only after halvening when revenues are slashed. This is a unique setup. Quite bearish leading up to the event. And that caught my attention here, because I've been wondering for a long time, what's this? Because there's only been 2 halvenings, mind you, so this will be the third one. What's it going to do to the market? Wu points out that Bitcoin is eerily bearish ahead of the upcoming halvening event that is expected to happen in May. The Bitcoin price dropped from its yearly high of $14,000 to just $8,100. He further explains that this drop has pushed a lot of weaker miners to the sidelines. With about 6 months left until the block reward will be reduced from 12.5 Bitcoin to just 6.25 Bitcoin. Miners are already on the verge of capitulation. As reported by You Today, there is a 60% chance of another massive hash rate drop, which will be similar to the one that took place in December 2018 when the Bitcoin price nosedived to 3,100. And so it makes you wonder, so if this is indeed the case, what will this mean for alts? And some seem to think that, set aside even the halvening, that immediate price action, the predicament that Bitcoin is in, isn't necessarily bad for alts. To the contrary, it could be quite good. But I'll be curious, if we could fast forward a year, I'd love to know the price action that's going to occur. Not just because I could game the system, but I'm genuinely curious about what's going to happen. Is the third halvening actually going to be different? What's that going to mean for altcoins? All right, here we go. Oh, I meant to get rid of that one. Here we go. Altcoin volatility rising, but alt season won't arrive until Bitcoin volume returns. So here's another opinion from Tony Spilatro with News BTC. The crypto market has reached a period of stagnation. Volume is at extreme lows, suggesting interest in the emerging class of Bitcoin and altcoin assets may be waning. Volatility has begun to increase, suggesting that action could also soon be picking up. However, one crypto analyst says that an alt season won't occur until volume returns to the market, and in particular, Bitcoin. Bitcoin's meteoric rise took the world by storm as people rushed to buy up the scarce crypto asset. The entire run-up made millionaires along the way, which caused retail investors to try their hand in the market. Since many felt they had already missed their chance to buy Bitcoin cheap, retail investors turned to altcoins. Getting in as early as possible meant that investors often looked to initial coin offerings, which were in large part built on the Ethereum protocol. Bitcoin and Ethereum rising together caused a synergistic effect across the market, making it appear that anyone could become wildly rich just by finding the right altcoin. Right as Bitcoin peaked, investors flocked to altcoins in droves, causing the price of the illiquid asset to explode. But those who bought in too late were left holding extremely heavy bags that are now sitting at as much as 99% loss in some cases. And it's left a bad taste in the mouths of retail investors who were burned as the bubble popped. And I've made that point, though, that sure, a lot of people can feel burned, and there's a frenzy around the technology, highly speculative, that's fine. But there's certain people that will, that even if they got burned, are going to stick around, and there are people like me that didn't get burned and have also chosen to stick around, so there's that as well. Anyway, now almost 2 full years later, the crypto market is still stagnant, suffering from a general lack of interest. Bitcoin's early 2019 rally started to bring some interest back into the market, but since then, volume in Bitcoin is also drying up. Now here you go, subheading here within this article. Volatility returns to altcoin market, but alts are waiting for Bitcoin trigger, the volume trigger. So here's the important part from my perspective, the most important thing in this article I wanted to share with you. However, volatility in altcoins is starting to ramp up once again, according to one crypto analyst. The analyst claims that it's either due to volume being down for Bitcoin, causing a lull in interest and general boredom in the market, or lingering effects due to the China news pump back in October. Still, the analyst is hesitant to claim an alt season is near and believes that will not occur until volume returns to Bitcoin in a big way. Only then will the relationship with altcoins reverse into a positive trend. While Bitcoin has regained much lost ground from its all-time high, other altcoins, even top altcoins like XRP and Ethereum, are down as much as 80% or more from their all-time high prices, and have a lot of catching up to do. So there you go. There's another opinion right there. What do you think? I've shared with you a bunch of opinions from chart analysts in the world of crypto. I'm not going to pretend to know. I just like to share the information that I find with you as I do my research here. All I know, I will say this, though. I'm a long-term guy, and however long it takes for all this shit to shake out, and for however long people emotionally buy and sell and cause dramatic run-ups in price and dramatic crash as well, I don't care how long it takes. I'm going to be sitting here patiently, and I'll be happy to do so. But that's it for this video. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!